Hi. My name is Mark. This is my friend Charlie.
Hi.
Charlie plays in a band called Stormtroopers of Death.
Yeah.
And also Anthrax.
Day job.
Yeah, day job. So Charlie's here to talk about actually a few different things. Number one being AmpliTube, which you see on the screen right here. Number two being Axe.io, which is a brand new guitar interface. Number three, which is on the floor that I cannot see, which is the Stomp.io, which again is basically just a killer interface for iPad integration or iPhone and computer. So having said that, Charlie has took it upon himself to not only create some patches through AmpliTube, but he's going to explain to you how he uses it, why he uses it, and what he likes about it.
Exactly.
Chuck, all you.
So let's say that I'm assuming all of you guys are in bands and stuff like that, and you travel around the world like I do. So you don't you don't have the access to go into a studio, so you want to take the studio with you. So let's say you're in your room and it's like, I have this idea. Well, you either go into your iPhone, you go into your iPad, or you go into your Mac, and you bring up AmpliTube, and then you can create the sound that's in your head for the song that you want to create. So if we go to the first patch, we did like a few of the Anthrax type of tones. So the first one would be like kind of a heavier crunch sound. So it's like. And it just helps you to kind of, the song that's in your head, the sound that's in your head, you just put it down and it just kind of flows. So how we did it, how many amp
Yeah, you have here's your stomp box.
That's a stomp box. That's all we're using with this.
Yeah, it's the only effect.
That's it. And then the amp that we're using was
Marshall.
it was a Marshall.
Marshall Slash series, yeah.
Okay, but you could change that. So that's the Slash Marshall. And then you could pick the cabinet.
So with this, you have the Marshall Slash version right here.
Right.
Kind of dialed into your settings.
Right. And you could pick the cabinet that you want, which we can show you too. I don't see it. Okay. So that's the cabinet we chose, and then you could choose how far you want to put the mic, how close you want to put the mic. I mean, it's kind of endless. So let's say, as you can see, yeah, that the Invisible Man is moving the mic left and right. It's your studio. It's your virtual studio. Right. So how does it change from me playing to moving the mic? More of a room sound as you move it away. And of course, you could choose the speakers you want too. So, like I said, it's endless. So if you have a certain tone in your head, it's totally achievable in this program. So let's go to the next preset, which would be
good old Boogie.
We have a boogie up there now. So, more of a crunchier, tone. So if I had this thing back in the 80s when I was on tour, I'd probably have 100 more songs, but because we didn't have the ability to have computers and stuff like that, we had to deal with what we had to deal with. So,
and one of the things though that you're leaving out is that you write a lot of the music for Anthrax.
Right. I wanted him to say that, not
me. So Charlie is being nice about it. I guess I'll be straight to the point. Charlie is the songwriter. He writes all the music. He's the guitar. Believe it or not. All those riffs, those famous riffs, comes from him.
Came from me, yeah. So, which is the other reason why I'm here today talking, because my love of creating music my love of things like this. I mean, it's awesome to kind of nerd out every once in a while, and when you find a newer technology that you can totally expand your horizons, well, then that's the greatest thing, and you could do it anywhere. You could do it on the tour bus. You could do it in your room at home. You could do it on the toilet. You could do it anywhere. And
The toilet?
yeah, sometimes you get that riff. You're on the toilet. It's like, let me put this one down.
But not only right now we're using it on a Mac, on a laptop, but iOS device as well. So it's available for iPhone and iPad.
Right. So the other thing, if you're using Pro Tools, you're using Logic, anything, you can use this with any of those programs. And I mean, the tones are killer. So can we go to the next bank where we wanted to choose, say, like a Pantera? Is that what we're on now?
Yeah.
So as you can see, we have a warning. All the tones that are in here, they're all licensed. So this is not third-party stuff. When you're hearing a tone in here, it's because the artist created these tones. Am I right? Well, I'm wrong. The Dimebag tones are all from Dimebag.
Yeah, so with the Dimebag, there's a few different versions of AmpliTube. You have, what you're looking at right now is from the Dimebag Darrell CFH, which CFH stands for Cowboys from Hell. It's a brand new piece of software that just came out this past November. And with that, we modeled Dime's studio rig from the Cowboys from Hell record to the T. And I know Charlie.
So, I mean, let's say you're like, you just listened to Pantera and you're like, dude, that tone is so killer. I have an idea, but I want that tone in the song that I want to create. So I'll play a little bit. You could hear the Darrell tone in this. So it's like, it sounds just like it. So heavy.
And with that, though, if you're getting inspired and you're coming up with these tones in your writing, you could also record within AmpliTube.
Which we'll show you right now. So let's do that. We'll record first track. Now we'll go to track 2. We'll still hear track 1, and now we'll play on track 2. Now we'll play that back. As you can see, it sounds like Pantera. A little sloppy, but it sounds like Pantera. So then we did other settings that have the Darrell sound, and I'll demonstrate that too. Okay. Can we go to the clean channel, the clean Dimebag tone? Anyway, that sounds just like Daryl. So the sounds that you hear coming straight from Dimebag Daryl.
Straight from the source.
Straight from the source. So the next thing we did, I think we did a Van Halen one, right? So let's say you have a Van Halen tone in mind and you have a song that's like, well, I want to have this Van Halen tone. So you bring up Eddie's rig. So let's say there's a little bit too much flange on there. Could we back it off a little bit? That's the Van Halen tone. So basically, everything that I want in a rig is here. Is you could take it anywhere with you, and you could make a record. I mean, how many artists are now using this in the studio?
A lot. You know, I know Ron Thal Bumblefoot was here on yesterday. He uses it on just about every record he's ever done.
Exactly.
In recent years. And I found out probably about a month or two ago that Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top recorded his new solo record. All the guitar tone is exclusively done on AmpliTube, which we didn't know. We found that out after the fact, but a lot of guitar players are using this within their favorite DAW, whether it's Pro Tools, Logic, whatever you use. But this is how they're getting their tone now because of the ease of use and the accuracy. The accuracy is very important, especially when it comes to tone. And when you're dealing with traveling musicians, and you can't lug around 5150s and boogies and orange amps, and you can't lug that stuff around. So this is the next best thing.
Exactly. So for me, when I'm creating like demos for Anthrax, I'll use AmpliTube, and I'll create demos to send to the guys. Usually when I'm done, they have it, and then we all get together and we start building on the demos that I sent them. But this is such a huge asset to the tone because it's like it's realized, it's not like, well, I want it to sound like this. No. That's exactly how I want it to sound. So it helps so much in the planning and the time. So if I send these guys the demo with this tone, then we know, well, that's the tone for that song. And it just helps us like 100%. So yeah, this thing is like one of the greatest things that I've ever heard and ever used. So.
And that's coming from Charlie, the songwriter himself. And Charlie, thank you, dude.
Thank you, guys.
Much appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming back.